Hey, how's it going, everyone? Happy Friday to everyone. Little behind today, but it's all good. I'm here. Gonna make some things happen for you today. Just like always, hope you're up making some moves, making things happen. Got the mind in the right place, and if it's not in the right place, then we're going to help you put your mind in the right place with some mental vitamins and some goodies here. So I'm still in the Jocko book here, and it's another good chapter here I want to share with everyone that I think a lot of people can relate to, me especially. So I'm gonna go ahead and break it down, and then or get into it, and then I'll break it down a little bit and share some experiences that I've had with this stuff here. So focus. In combat, focus comes pretty easily because the battle is right in front of your face. You have no choice but to focus, but sometimes in day-to-day life, you can lose track of the long-term goal. It fades from your vision, it slips from your mind. Wrong. I want that long-term goal to be so embedded in my mind that I never lose sight of it, ever. And the little tasks and projects and short-term goals that you tackle need to lead towards strategic victory, winning the long-term war. But when we want results now, we want the shortcut to the winner's podium. We need the instant gratification, and when we don't get the short-term glory, sometimes we lose sight of those long-term goals. They fade, we lose focus. So we stop daily tasks and the daily disciplines that will allow us to achieve our goals, and a day slips by, and then another, and a day turns into a week turns into a year, and you look up in 6 weeks or 6 months or 6 years, and you've made no progress, none. You never moved. In fact, you might be even further from your goal than you were when you started. You might have gone backward. Why? Why do you let this happen? Because you lost sight of it. You lost sight of the long-term goal, and it faded. It faded from memory. It faded. The passion dried up, and you began to rationalize, maybe I can't. Maybe I don't really want to. Maybe this goal isn't for me. And so you give up, you let it go, and you settle. You settle for the status quo. You settle for the easy road. You settle for the, oh, well. No, don't do that. The long-term goal in your mind, burn that into your soul. Think about it, write about it, talk about it, hang it up on your wall. But most important, do something about it every day. Every day. Do something that moves you toward that goal, that keeps that goal alive in sight and in focus. However small, insignificant that step might seem, take it, do it, make it happen, because the goal isn't going to achieve itself. It is all on you. So man, as far as the focus goes, and everything that just is in this little page, these 2 pages here, is huge. He's also got one of the YouTube videos I listen to. He's also talking about this here, and it's really good stuff. You can put this in so many perspectives of whatever goals you've had before, or maybe you have goals now, and it just seems so far away. And you start doing the things, every time we have a goal, we get motivated, and, we're hot in the beginning, we're coming out the gate real strong. We're coming out the gate on fire, for the first couple of weeks, the first couple of months. But as time goes on, we lose that fire. And then, like he says, it starts to fade, and you just start to lose sight of the goal. So you stop doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, because you just think that it's so far away that, why even bother with it? So the passion dries up, and, it fades from memory, and you start to rationalize, like it says right here, well, maybe I can't, maybe I don't really want to, and then you settle for the status quo. So, I can put this into, let's say, jiu-jitsu perspective, right? It takes a very, very long time to get a jiu-jitsu black belt, and, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go along with that. And when you first start jiu-jitsu, at least from my experience of the thousands of people that I've met over the 20 plus years I've been doing jiu-jitsu and having my own academy now for 12 years, you know, people are really good to go for the first year, maybe 2 years, maybe even 3. But around purple belt, which is around that time, you know, you're into the, you know, maybe 3-4 year mark, life starts to change for you because, you know, I just kind of hear that all the time where life changes like every, you know, 4 to 5 years for people. You know, maybe you had a kid, maybe you got married, maybe you got into a relationship, maybe you got divorced, maybe you lost your job. Just pick something. And then now the focus is no longer there like it was. And so you don't come to class like you used to. You know, when you first start, you know, sometimes I got to tell people, hey, you know, maybe you should just come like three days a week. You know, you're coming every day, you might get burned out. You know, you don't want to overdo it. You want to think long term because it's not a race. You're coming to class, which I like. I like very determined individuals when they come into class like that. But I also been doing this for a very long time where I know that over time, people will start to fade. They start to drop off. You know, that's why there's so many white belts and so many blue belts in every academy around the world. And then you start to see less purple belts, less brown belts, and then definitely a lot less black belts. Because why? Because, you know, it could have been an injury, could have been anything, and then you lose focus of the goal. You know, the goal should be to get your black belt. It should never be like, well, I'm going to do jiu-jitsu for like 6 months, lose some weight, look good in my tuxedo or my dress, go on, you know, do whatever for a vacation or whatever, and then you're done with it. The goal should be to finish. The goal should be to go all the way. And I've had so many obstacles in my way on the way to black belt that, you know, I just wasn't going to let things happen. One of the biggest obstacles I had was when I was a brown belt. I had knee surgery. You know, it might seem minor to some, but it's still a surgery. You know, I was out for like about 3 months, pretty close to 3 months. No jiu-jitsu, no training. Still go to class and watch and stuff like that, but there was no actual training. But I'd still go to class, take notes, watch guys roll. Just wanted to be on the mat, be in the atmosphere. But that was a test for me to say, hey, you know, I quit other things before, you know, in my life. And, you know, I wrestled, didn't really do anything with that. I boxed for a couple of years, didn't do anything with that. And I was like, you know what? I want to finish this. I want to see what happens if I don't quit. You know, what happens if I don't quit? I already know what happens if I quit in the other things because I've already seen the results. I've already been there, done that. But what if I don't quit this and I go all the way? So at brown belt, you can taste black belt. You're almost there, you know, and, you know, you have a surgery that takes you out for 3 months, you know, and when you wake up from the surgery, you know, you're all on the, you know, how they put you under and stuff, and you wake up and your legs all swollen and it's wrapped up in this thing, and you got this ice machine tied to it, and you can't move. You know, they had me on medication that made me like really sick, so I stopped taking it. I forgot what it was, but it was some pretty strong stuff, and my stomach really wasn't built for that. So, you know, I threw that stuff in the trash, and I just dealt with the pain. We had a 2-story home at the time. I slept downstairs on the couch because I couldn't go up and down the stairs, so I just slept for weeks at a time downstairs on the couch. It was rough. And then you start having like, you know, negative thoughts, you know, the why me and why it had to happen now, and, you know, all those weak moments that you're sitting there because you're in pain and you know that other people are training and doing things and running, because I like to run and work out and I can't do those things. And then you just got to just basically like slap yourself and just be like, hey man, you know, this is what other people have gone through. It's a test. You're getting tested to see how bad you really want it. And so, you know, I start to filter all those negative things out of my mind, get my focus back and be like, man, I came too far to quit now. Like I'm too close to quit now. Like I'm finishing this thing. So that's exactly what I did. As soon as I could start rehab and moving a little bit, that's exactly what I did. You know, I got back like real slow. I started swimming, elliptical machine, just little things, and they're bending my knee. I go to rehab and they're jacking around my knee and breaking all the scar tissue up. Man, it sucked, you know, but I just kept thinking of the long-term goal. Like, I want to get my black belt. I need to get back on the mat. And at that time, I'm still competing, stuff like that. I want to get back to competition. And so I had to go to war with myself. I like David Goggins talks about that, like going to war with yourself. So that's exactly what I had to do. I had to just fight myself every day to like not be so negative, not be so, so upset that what happened. I couldn't control it. It already happened. Now what am I going to do about it? And so that's just one lesson that I got that relates to what we're talking about here, the focus. The short-term goal was no longer there because I couldn't train, I couldn't compete, but the long-term goal was I wanted my black belt. What happens if I go all the way through and see this thing through? And that's exactly what I did. Fought through it. As soon as I could get back on the mat, like I said, I'd go to training, go watch, take notes, and before you know it, I was back on the mat. Had to come back slow a little bit. I didn't want to hurt myself, but once I was back, I was back. And I've been on the grind ever since. I think that was in 2006 or 2007 maybe when that happened. So it was quite a while ago, but so I've been back on the grind. So I had like going back to students and just individuals. I just see this a lot where people lose focus. Again, they come in and something will happen and it'll completely shift their focus somewhere else. And then what this says right here, this is what I hear all the time. Individuals start to rationalize why they're not going to stick it through anymore. They start to give themselves an excuse to why they quit. This, that, whatever. There's so many. I'd be here all day talking about people's excuses that I've heard personally, throughout the years, to where, I tell everyone the same thing. Got a family, got a daughter, had to go to games, basketball games, volleyball games. At that time, when I had the surgery, I was working for General Motors, had to go to work, work long hours, they work over, whatever the case may be. I had a mortgage to pay, bills to pay just like everyone else. But I wanted something, and I wasn't going to settle for like what it says here, the oh well, settle for the easy road, because I did that before. Okay, so maybe you haven't done that before, and maybe you have. So if you lost focus on something, think about something that you wanted to do and you quit on it in the past. What's that feel like? That feeling of quitting, that feeling of giving up and saying, oh, well, I guess it isn't for me, that should make you sick to your stomach. That should make you say, you know what? I don't like that feeling. I'm not going to go through that feeling again. I'm going to finish this thing out. Whether it's, you're in college or in school or it's a job, like whatever it is that you want to do, and you're going through some obstacles right now, because I definitely had to put that in perspective where, I'm getting tested. I was getting tested. So you're getting tested right now. If you're going through something tough, you got to go. It's in your way. And things are kind of hard for you right now. Pass the test. All right. Don't give up. You got to pass that test. You got to stay focused. And you got to do something every day that's going to inch you towards that goal so that you can achieve that. Again, it's just daily disciplines that you got to go through. And then, like it says here, you don't want to look up in 6 weeks, 6 months, or 6 years and be like, man, what if I would have saw that through? What if I would have finished that? And I talked about it before, like with my jiu-jitsu, like when I quit General Motors to do jiu-jitsu, I didn't want to look up 20 years from now and be like, man, what if I would have took the buyout from GM and started my own business and went through with this jiu-jitsu thing? I thought about the future and what that would look like and what that felt like. And I'm like, no, I got to give it a shot. It was the scariest thing I've ever did, but I did it and it's working out. And it'll definitely work out for you if you got the right focus, the right mentality, and pass the test. All right. So stay focused, pass the test, stay on the grind. And you guys have a great day. I'll catch you on the next one.